President Trump has a message for President Putin. He's tired of waiting. Trump says that he's going to speak with the Russian leader, quote unquote, very soon. But after setting and seeing Putin blow through some 7 deadlines now to come to the table to negotiate peace in Ukraine, it is a big question of what more talking is going to do. President Trump is also signaling that he might be ready to finally move to hit Russia where it would hurt with a new phase of sanctions. All of this coming on the heels of Russia's largest air assault on Ukraine, the largest since the beginning of the entire war playing out this weekend. Moscow launching more than 800 drones, even hit a government building in Kyiv for the first time. CNN's Nick Payton-Walsh watching all of this for us. Let's start with this second round of sanctions. What is the president signaling? What are you hearing about this?
Yeah, it is still unclear as to exactly when or what we could potentially be talking about, but obvious signs of impatience from President Trump, again after a significant aerial assault against Kiev that killed a child amongst the 3 killed there. This clearly is one of the elements of Russia's brutal assault against Ukraine that gets to Trump the fastest. Asked about the next wave of sanctions, he said yes, they were thinking about that, but what that actually contains is unclear. Is it banking sanctions against particular Russian banks to try and further cripple that sector? Is it more tariffs against the consumers of Russian oil? 50% tariff against India hasn't seemed to make too much difference yet. We're hearing that India's actually going to increase its oil purchases from Russia, and its president went to Beijing for a summit alongside Putin just last week. China, though, potentially impacted by further sanctions as well. So it's the real detail of what they're willing to do, what pain the US is willing to give, but also absorb itself, that's going to be key here. Trump also suggesting that European leaders unnamed might arrive today or tomorrow to talk about Ukraine further at the White House. But this comes after a record assault against Ukraine. 800 plus drones launched on the night Saturday to Sunday, 9 cruise missiles, 4 ballistic missiles. It killed a total of 3, but importantly damaged the key government building in the center of Kiev, in the government sector there. The Ukrainian Prime Minister Yulia Sviridenko showing around a number of European diplomats, Western diplomats, the extensive damage done to that key government facility. Yes, it was hit at night when it was likely to be lesser occupied, but again a sign that Vladimir Putin thinks certain things that were possibly unthinkable a year ago are now very much on the table. Remember, the European Union offices were recently struck in another aerial assault against Kiev. Trump's own envoy, General Keith Kellogg, called that attack at the weekend an escalation. Clearly, it overwhelmed part of the capital's air defences. That's key, because it probably shows to Moscow they can do it again. And it's assaults like this that clearly upset Trump, and that may inform what he decides to do in the days ahead. But the details of that still in his head and down to him to decide to implement. Kate?
Absolutely. Nick, thanks so much for putting it together. Really appreciate your reporting as always.